Hello, everybody. Welcome to the high school basketball showcase presentation. I'm going to get right into it. Again, this is for a high school basketball showcase held at a local high school. Um, Basically, the concept of the event is to invite seniors, senior basketball players, um, to come and participate in a game, um, a showcase game, um, to have a chance to be recruited by college coaches. College coaches are going to be invited. Local ones, of course, are going to um, be ones in attendance. And these players should have aspirations to play at a college level, and they'll have an opportunity to be recruited by playing this showcase game in order to be seen by college coaches firsthand that maybe haven't had a chance to see them during the season. Um, the players that are going to be invited are going to be from our league only. So there's only 6 teams in our league. So any seniors that participated on those 6 teams um, are going to be invited to play. We expect about 20 to 25 players to come through and play. I mean, on average, we have 6 teams in our league. There's usually about 3 to 5 seniors. So you do the math. We're approximating about 20 to 25 players to come through. That's also a feasible amount to have 2 teams. Split the players up into two. So if we get 20 players, we'll have 2 teams of 10. And basically, we'll have volunteer coaches from our program, probably varsity assistants, to coach the 2 teams. And it'll be kind of an all-star type of showcase event. Players will be given the opportunity to just play basketball, and their families can support them, as well as college coaches can see what these players have to offer, see if maybe they want to make them an offer to go to their school, or give them opportunity to walk on at their school as well this upcoming season. Um, Moving on to feasibility. Um, Again, this is a very feasible event for our school. It's not going to cost the school very much money at all. The only thing they're going to have to probably pay for is a one custodial staff. It's got a lot of positives for this event of this magnitude. It's not a huge event, but it's going to positively affect the community, and it's not going to cost us a lot of money, and it's going to raise revenue for our program through various different ways. So again, it accomplished a lot of things: family support, community support, players with college aspirations, and college coaches that want good players. So very feasible in that regard. Moving on to potential outcomes. So according to the SWOT analysis, um, the strengths of this program: number one, again, fundraising for our basketball program. That's number one strength. Hard to fundraise, and here we go. We got a perfect event to make a little bit of money for us. Um, Another strength: players, again, always want to get recruited. I always hear from players that want to get recruited. Hey, I want to go to college. I want to play college ball. Again, perfect opportunity for you to play in front of some coaches firsthand that want you. Um, and again, like we mentioned before, the community around our school gets exposed, and the school gets exposed. Um, Holding a good event like this, again, it's going to be a strength um, for this event. A weakness is the obvious one. It's going to be hard to get the Dukes and the Kentuckys and the Kansas University coaches to come through to our school. Again, we're not going to get very many high profile programs to come through and watch, because again, it is a new program, new event. Um, so that's going to be unlikely. Again, like I said, we're going to get local coaches. Nothing wrong with those. It's just not going to be able to get those high profile programs in there. That's not realistic. Um, and again, like I mentioned earlier as well, we're going to have to rely on the school to support our event, mainly the principal and the administration. They have to see that this is going to be a beneficial and important program for our district and for our league and for our area, in order to allow us to use the facility for this event. So again, we're relying on an outside factor to make this happen. Um, Next, opportunities. Um, Again, the more we do this, the more showcases we have, the more exposure our school gets, the more revenue our program gets, and the more, again, exposure to to athletes in order to become college players. So again, 3 different opportunities there through this event. A threat to this event, not a huge one in my opinion, but the AAU circuit basketball, Again, they hold a lot of different basketball events, so they might be a threat to us if it might conflict. Hey, maybe some players would rather go play in the AAU showcase or whatever they're having instead of ours. Again, I don't think that'll happen, but it's definitely possible. And maybe um, lack of interest from players. Maybe a lot of the players, or some players, don't want to play college ball. Um, maybe they just um, don't want to come to this type of showcase. Don't think it's going to be worth their time. Or maybe a lot of players potentially got recruited already. Or maybe just that year we don't have a lot of seniors coming out. Um, maybe we just have a lot of young teams. So again, those are all threats to our event um, that potentially could happen. Okay, here we go. Budget. Um, as I mentioned before, again, not going to be an expensive event, but here are the few things that we're going to have to pay for. Um, referee fees. Again, if we can work it out with some officials that have officiated some of our past games, we wouldn't have to go through the official association. We can pay them out of pocket. We can work out a deal of how much we can pay them. Again, from my knowledge, um, refs usually get paid maybe $40 or something like that when we hire them for league games, $40 each. So that's $80 total for two refs. Um, Usually when officials ref rec games or games like this, $30 is usually for the game, usually feasible. So $30 for each, two refs, one game, $60. We're gonna have to pay the clock operations staff. I know that public school districts, they hold a specific salary schedule or whatever it may be for the clock operations staff, but basically they're going to be paid per hour. Guessing no more than $15 per hour. So that's going to be about $30 for a 2 hour game. Custodial staff, that'll probably be the most expensive part, maybe with staff. I know custodial staff, they receive time and a half when it's overtime pay. So if we have a custodial staff there for say 7 hours, um, usually they're paid around $20 an hour. So time and a half is 30. 7 hours times 30 is going to be around $210. So on average, we'll say $200 for the custodial staff and electricity to have the lights on in the gym. That's going to vary as well. But it is an expense that school will have to take on. Revenue. So I didn't mention this part, but players basically entering into the showcase will have to pay an entry fee. I felt $10 was fair per player to have an opportunity to play. Again, that's going to cover ref fees. That's going to cover the clock operations staff and any other fees that the program specifically had to pay. But $10 per player. Again, not that much. 20 to 25 players. So we're probably going to range in from $200 to $250 from the player entry fees. Tickets. I'm going to charge $5 per adult. Kids will get in free. So if we approximate, two supporters per player, which is very low, 20 to 25. So we're probably going to have at least 40 to 50 supporters. So we'll just say 50 supporters times the $5 will be $250. So far we've made about $400 to $500 off of player entry fees and tickets and concessions as well. We're going to have a concession stand throughout the game. Hard to estimate that, but it's going to probably bring in at least a couple $100 as well. So we're probably getting close to $700 to $800 from those three revenues. Moving on to personnel. As I mentioned, we're going to need two officials, two referees. We need one clock operations staff. They're going to just basically manage the scoreboard, clock, score. Won't need much else other than that. Custodial staffing, we mentioned that already. They're going to need to open up the facility, maintain it, and close it up. So we're only going to need one custodial staff for that. And our volunteer staff, they're probably going to be doing the most amount of work. We're going to have players from our program volunteer. Um, again, they'll get volunteer hours, and players. This will be part of their fundraising. Um, so we're going to have two people at the ticket stand in front of at the front door, taking payment for tickets, and we'll also have two players um, from the sitting at the concession sales. Um, and these will be lower level players. They won't be varsity players. Um, um, so yeah, we're not gonna have any seniors there. They're gonna be participating in the event most likely. So we have ticket sales and concession sales for our volunteer staff, and for vendors. Um, I mentioned again referees. We'd usually have to go through the officials association in order to hire them for our league games. Probably not gonna need to do that. We'll hire them, personally. So basically, we're not going to need any really vendors for this type of event. Again, I think that's a good thing. Less headache for us having to deal with a vendor. We're just going straight up one-on-one to get these people to help us, and it's mainly just the referees. Moving on to the event timeline. So, starting it up, day of event, 2 p.m. The facility is going to get prepped. So that's mainly going to be the custodial staff. They're going to have to stock the bathrooms, line the trash cans and all that kind of stuff having to do with the facility. We have to make sure the locker rooms and the bathrooms are sanitized and stocked, and obviously the lights and everything will have to be turned on. 3 p.m. we're gonna have the gym is gonna start getting prepped. Then that might take a little bit longer. Mainly the floor needs to be swept from any kind of dust. We're gonna wet mop it, get a good, nice, clean shine on our floor for our players, and obviously the bleachers need to be pulled out. Sport table needs to be set up in case any issues arise from the sport table. So that was 3 p.m., 4 p.m. The facility is going to open up. Players are going to have an opportunity to sign in. Our concession, our ticket duty is going to start for our volunteers, and we're planning on having a 5 p.m. tip-off. So players are expected to sign in before 5 p.m. So they're going to have that hour in between to warm up and get ready for the ball game. And we need to split them up into two teams, so that's why we're having them sign in. We expect the game to end at around 7 p.m., and that's the opportunity for players and family members to talk to coaches or vice versa. We'll give them about 30 minutes to mingle a little bit in the gym. So we're going to begin our closing time at 7:30. We're going to ask everybody to exit the gym, and the maintenance is going to start over again as we started off with the facility being prepped. So same deal. We expect that to take an hour to an hour and a half. The facility is expected to be closed by 9 p.m. Moving on to the check-in procedures. The volunteers are going to be told to report to the coach's office by 3:30 p.m. Anybody working, so any employees, they're going to be asked. So referees have to come by 4:30 for the 5 p.m. tip-off. Custodial staff are going to have to report by 2 p.m. to get started, and the clock operators need to be there by 4 p.m. 1 hour before tip-off. Any participants, so that's the players, they're going to be told to show up at 4 p.m., but we expect some players to trickle in a little bit later. They're going to report to the front of the gym, front table to sign in and pay their entry fee to the varsity coach or whoever else he designates to be at the front table. The next part, transportation and parking plans. It's going to be personal transportation for players. They're going to be responsible for bringing themselves over. The school parking lot is going to be accessible and easy to fit the amount of people that are going to be showing up for this event. And last one, sponsorships. This type of event doesn't really need sponsorships, but we obviously would look at the school, our school, as a sponsor. They're going to be paying the overtime staff to pay, and they're going to be funding us the money to pay for the electricity for the event and any other fees that we need to pay or we just need to take on. So we can look at the school as a potential sponsor. Again, that's a minor sponsor, and our program Booster Club probably is going to be doing fundraising throughout the year. So we're going to use that money in order to buy the concession, like the sodas and the drinks and all that kind of stuff for the front. And that's going to help us pay for that ahead of time. So by the time we sell everything, we'll be able to make that money up. So 2 small sponsors for our program. Again, hopefully we can get some players recruited, go to college and play some ball. Um, that's my high school showcase presentation. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to checking you guys out.